You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let's train!
All right, good.
Look at diversity in the music, look at diversity in the people that we're covering.
We have to enroll them immediately with or without records, and we have to provide them with supports that are going to ensure that they're able to attend school daily.
Hello, and welcome to a new edition of Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report. We're coming to you from the studios of Germantown High School Television. I'm Maria Strickland.
And I'm Caden Bolton. Each month we highlight various people, programs, and events making a difference in our school system. High school audiovisual programs have come a long way in the past decade. That includes the program at East High School. We'll take you on a tour of their new set.
And at Valentine Elementary, the Science Lab becomes a playground every Tuesday afternoon. We'll tell you about a partnership with St. Jude that introduces young minds to the wonders of science.
Parents will want to stay tuned for today's SCS Focus. Executive producer Allison Long will discuss the rise in student homelessness in Shelby County and what MSCS is doing to combat it.
But first, our Teacher of the Month is Melissa Collins of J.P. Freeman Optional School. I should say Teacher of the Year because that is what she is. The Tennessee Department of Education recognized Ms. Collins as the State Teacher of the Year for 2022-23. She was also named Tennessee's 2022 History Teacher of the Year by the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History. Here's more about Melissa Collins.
Meet me at school.
It's science time.
Meet me in the highway.
It's science time.
Meet me in the classroom.
It's science time.
Anywhere you meet me.
It's science time.
Excellence in teaching is going above and beyond for your students, being prepared, giving them opportunities to learn not only the things that are in books, but other skills that you need to be successful in life.
I did not enter the profession thinking that it was going to be easy. I enter the profession to leave a legacy where my students will be successful.
So that's what it is. Students love her. Her students care about what her expectations are, and they definitely want to deliver, and it's been consistent in her test scores and high performance across her years of tenure.
Okay, so what we just demonstrated, and why are you not satisfied?
Trading is a good thing because if you're
I
hungry,
try to give my children what I did not have as a child. And so I try to bring different experiences where they understand that they have options. Have you ever swapped sandwiches with a friend at lunchtime?
She's nice and she treats us like a mother, and she helps us study for tests because she says she loves us, and she sings songs with us, and she makes learning fun.
say one, tick, 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 boom, dynamite, say one.
So early on in my career, I realized my students love to sing. When I say social studies, you say time. Social studies.
Time.
Social studies.
Time.
Social studies. And so I started trying to learn different songs from my son, who is younger than me. And I would change them, and I would bring them to the classroom, and I would try them out.
Yeah, it's fun to learn with Dr. Collins, and she just makes learning fun.
Open your bags. Don't take it out, but open it. Don't take anything out, just open it.
Watching her in action is just, it's something special because you can just see it light up her face in the way she reacts to students' answers, the way she responds to them. There's just something about her that comes out when she's teaching.
I like that question. Do you have another question?
She's just bold. She just goes, no holds barred, as long as that she knows that it's going to produce results. And that's what she's after, and she gets the results.
Okay, so listen up. John, I need you to stop it. So now I said, stop it. So you hear directions. You know, every teacher has their strengths and weaknesses. My weaknesses is just time management, letting it go. It's hard for me to leave my happy place, my classroom. And sometimes I just have to say, Melissa, it's okay to walk away today because it'll be there tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm laughing because she just brings joy to the community. I cannot think of a person who is a gatherer. You know, you have people who have different gifts, and hers is, again, she's a connector of all. And so when you get around her, she shares her expertise, she shares her knowledge. Dr. Collins just brings everybody together.
So right now, we're getting ready to talk to Scientist Martin, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself, and he's going to help us with our lessons.
Dr. Collins is the founder of the Future Leaders of STEM. She and I started our collaboration back in 2019, and we've been collaborating to bring in professionals that are in the STEM fields to expose the students to the sciences, engineering, technology, and mathematics.
It's something symbolic about them wearing those white coats. It's magical. When they put them on, they feel like scientists.
Hi, my name is Scientist Carrington, and
they are experts, and they are able to demonstrate that through those inquiry-based learning experiences.
She wants us to be smart, and we are Black geniuses.
I have been allowing the students to wear lab coats for about 15 years. And what I noticed is that students come back and they show me how they have actually earned a white coat.
Every kid in this building has been touched by her at some point in time. And so Dr. Collins' success is also synonymous with the school's success. They are intertwined. There is no pulling it apart. She's been a presidential awardee for teaching in excellence. She has also been nominated for Teacher of the Year once before. She also has been inducted to the National Teachers Hall of Fame. She is the Amazon Future Engineering Teacher of the Year, where they gave her a gift, and the school as well too.
She doesn't just get awards, she earns them, and the work is there.
She is a very nice teacher, and she makes learning fun. She helps us be very, very smart.
I love what I do. I've been doing it for 23 years, and I hope that I have many more years to give to this profession, students, my community, in this country.
Now, here is GHS-TV executive producer Allison Long with this month's SCS Focus.
Homelessness among Memphis-Shelby County students increased 180% from last fall. That's a startling and heartbreaking number. Here to help us better understand this issue is Dr. Angela Hargrave, Executive Director of Student Equity, Enrollment, and Discipline, and Dr. Karen Ball-Jackson, Senior Manager of Federal Programs. Thank you so much for joining us. So in this research and the data that we received, the number of homeless students has increased 80% plus, as we heard, over the past 4 years. What do you attribute to this growth in the homeless situation?
So there are a number of factors that have impacted our country as a whole, but here in Memphis, I think that we see that there was already some instability for many of our families prior to the pandemic. And since the pandemic, that only heightened the difficulties that families were having just to maintain daily necessities of life. So loss of jobs, sickness. So many of our families were just tremendously impacted by COVID with the death of family members and long-term illness that really just put them in the hole, so to speak, financially.
And can you describe what we're talking about when we say homeless? Like, it's not just not having a roof over your head. So I know there's more to it than that. Can you explain?
Yes, we have to adhere to the guidelines of the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. All public education facilities or districts have to adhere to this particular law. And McKinney-Vento specifically defines homelessness as anyone who lacks a adequate fixed nighttime residence. You know, many of our families are doubled up. We have families that are staying in hotels. We have families that are living in their cars. We've even heard of families living in storage shelters. So again, that's anyone who does not have a place that they can go to every night. The same place would be considered homeless as defined by McKinney-Vento.
I can only imagine that that would be a difficult task to identify and find those students who are considered homeless. How does Memphis-Shelby County Schools go about getting that information?
Okay. So identification is a huge challenge for us. Prior to this year, we had 3 people on the ground working, trying to identify families. We relied heavily on the schools, so we're always training administrators, front office staff to identify. We relied on the community to share that information with us. You know, anyone can call us and say, hey, this family is experiencing hardship. They don't have any place to go. I know they're not in school because they don't have anywhere to live. So anyone in the community can share that information with us. This year, with assistance from the American Rescue Plan and district leaders, you know, they were really pushing to, you know, let's do something about this. We got to handle this. We got to, you know, do a better job at identifying these families. So we were able to put in place what we call transition specialists. The transition specialists, they're divided among all of the schools in the district as well as those charters that are supported by the district. And specifically, they work with school staff to provide ongoing training, ongoing technical assistance in identifying and supporting and serving families and students that are experiencing homelessness. So that's been huge for us this year.
Mm-hmm. What is the impact on educational outcomes for students who are experiencing homelessness?
Well, you know, if students are not able to attend school regularly, you know, obviously that is going to have a negative impact because they're not receiving instruction and not able to really benefit from all of the things that are happening during the school day. But even oftentimes, even when they are attending school, if they are just dealing with the stress and the uncertainty of what's going to happen after school, then they are not able to attend to school because, you know, of all of the things that they are just having to think about even while they're here. So one of the programs that we were able to implement also has been the after-school tutoring. So Dr. Ball Johnson's team actually goes out to the some of the shelters, even one of the hotels that houses a large population of students. They are able to go out in the evenings and provide academic tutoring to help with the academics.
So you mentioned the McKinney-Vento Act, and how does that help protect students who are in a homeless situation?
So the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act provides specific guidelines for districts to follow. We have to enroll them immediately with or without records, and we have to provide them with supports that are going to ensure that they're able to attend school daily and be ready to learn. So the supports that we provide include transportation, uniform vouchers. We also provide school supplies. We pay fees when there's a fee. In certain cases, we even pay aftercare, before and after care for parents, because you know there are some situations where parents don't have anybody in the city. You know, they don't have family, they don't have a support circle. So if they're going to work to get out of this situation, they have to have childcare. So you know, we just try and we look at each situation on a case-by-case basis, and we just conduct the needs assessment, and based on what we find the needs are, we try our best to meet them.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. I appreciate you both stopping by and helping us talk through the needs of some of our students. Schools are more than just a place where students learn and grow, but to have a school system that helps meet basic needs is also important. So I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
What's a high school audiovisual program without a proper set? Students at East High School recently received a truly massive donation, ABC 24's old news set. The TV station updated their studio, and instead of throwing the set out, they donated it. The new set is one of the many things that set East High School's program apart from the rest. Here's a look at the program.
At first it was just, oh, AV production, that's cool, I guess. But now it's like, oh, AV production, that's kind of cool.
This program is really a jewel that we have here. Mr. Calvin has taken this program to new feats, and I'm amazed every day at how many opportunities he has put before the students to be able to take advantage of.
Just make sure that his flesh tone looks okay. We want to make sure that he's not too bright.
It's just the mentality of coming and give your best, or why are you doing it, And so that was the main thing that I had, as far as trying to build a program up here and trying to get new recruits in the class. Having kids that got a passion and want to work, that want to, achieve success, not on an ego level, but on a level where we're doing this as a team environment, and we all can be proud of what we're trying to create here at this school.
All right, quiet on set. 5, 4, 3.
When I first came into this class, we didn't really start with much, but I saw Mr. Calvin as a dedicated teacher, and I knew that was going to come soon as we built it up. And I slowly kind of got into this technology, and I'm kind of, entranced by it. It's capturing.
AV production isn't something you normally hear about in other schools. So to join the program, I didn't know what I was joining and what I was going to be doing, but when I joined, I kind of got started. We learned the history, we learned key terminology, and then we worked on our own show, and we kind of grew from there.
To have an AV production program in our school, it does make me feel kind of special, because it makes me feel like I made a good choice, not only signing up for this program, but actually coming to this school.
I know when I've been taking this class that there were moments where me and my group were just talking about different ideas that we wanted to do, and everybody really gets to learn these skill traits that they'll have in life.
It's not about business for me, it's about the kids' opportunities. And I want to, give them chances to be filmmakers. I want to give them chances to work in the industry.
Look at diversity in the music, look at diversity in the people that we're covering. Try to make sure that everybody's being represented inside the show.
I'm trying to give them real life situations where they're interviewing the movers and shakers of Memphis and Shelby County. I don't want it to just be based on what we're doing at school, because what we're doing at school is amazing. But in order to do real interviews, we also have to go out and interview people. We need to get into filmmaking. We need to do a lot of different things that are gonna, give them opportunity to grow. And that's what this is all about, is growth, and it's about giving them just a chance to make it out here. And also to be in a team and be proud of each other. If one wins, then we're all proud, and I just think that team environment is really key here at East High School.
As being one of the leaders in the classroom, I'll say I have one of the bigger roles. Not only do I have to make sure I'm doing my own job, I have to make sure that I'm keeping the people under me in check as well, and make sure that they're doing their work and getting everything in line. So for when we set up a show.
We got roughly over 100 and some odd students right now. So I think, give or take, it may be 125, 130 with middle school kids and everybody involved. We had to take the numbers down. The kids we'll be back next year. It's always been like that with me when I taught, whether it be in Millington or here. If you put out good energy and kids know that you're sincere, they'll flock to you. If you treat them like individuals, not a number in your class, and you show them that you really love and care about them and you want to see them grow, people will come to you.
All right, quiet on set. Stand by. Rolling. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to the Memphis East
GHS-TV STEM Academy.
The audiovisual program is basically our one-stop shop for everything promotional related to the school. So our students did a recruitment video that we have shared throughout the district to kind of get students interested in the T-STEM program here at East High School, things like that. Any advertisements that we need to kind of go out for the district or for the school, we really rely on our AV program to be able to do that.
Always look at the skin complexion. Always look at how they need to be lit. If it's a darker skinned person, you need to light that person a little bit more. If it's a lighter skinned person, then you need to turn it down a little bit, try to work with that, try to make sure you get it.
It's more than a class to me. To me, it's more of like a work field, a learning place, a place to grow and mature and actually learn how to collaborate.
You learn how to work with the team. You learn how to work with people you don't find yourself normally talking to. You learn how to work with younger people, older people, but you also learn how to communicate effectively and efficiently to make sure you get your point across and you receive the point of others.
I got my hands in everything, so like learning how to balance a busy life, things that you have to do in the real world. I really thank Mr. Calvin for it and for kind of directing me in how to handle adult things.
It's always been about trying to help kids. And I got tired of when I worked at Channel 5, seeing the negative news, especially with African-American kids and people of color. We're in the first block of the newscast. That's what you see. You see negative impressions of people of color. But also, when I got into the industry of education, I seen it wasn't just African-Americans that were going through that or people of color. It was everybody that was going through that. And so my job as an educator was to try to help everybody that came through my door, whether I'm in Millington or where I'm at right now. It's about helping these kids get to the next level. If they want to do this, I'm going to pour into them. I'm going to bring people in that's going to be able to talk to them. I'm going to try to give them internships. I'm going to write people and ask, can we have donations for equipment? Whatever it takes for these kids to be successful, that's what I want to do.
Dressed in white coats, students at Valentine Elementary look like real scientists, and they are. Thanks to a partnership between Memphis-Shelby County Schools and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, young students are being immersed in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. The goal is to inspire the next generation of thinkers. Here's more on the program.
Put the pipe cleaner through your bed. I want you to fold the pipe cleaners like a what?
Burrito.
Yeah, taco.
Sandwich.
Yes.
It's simply STEM. It's simply partnering with elementary schools and teaching them about science and St. Jude education.
Real good.
The coolest thing that we learned through our research, we learned that how cancer was made and stuff and how it spreads around the body.
We also learned a new word about cancer. I think it was sarcomas.
It started about 5 years ago under the leadership of Kate Ayers, who is the director. She actually started with, co-writing the curriculum as case studies, and then we developed them into a STEM after-school program.
I want you to lay down one pipe cleaner, it was mine, lay one pipe cleaner on each finger.
Miss Kate Ayers reached out to Principal Peterson and asked her would we be one of the schools to host a STEM club. And so Miss Peterson was happy to do so. And she asked the staff members if anybody was interested in becoming the sponsor, and I quickly jumped on that opportunity.
So that's where the partnership actually started and began with about maybe 24 schools, and then now we have a waiting list of maybe 5 or 6 more additional schools.
The overall goal is to promote diversity in science and STEM careers. We want students to be excited about science and to foster that that drive to want them to become scientists or bioengineers.
I thought it was really cool because I've never worn like a coat like this before, so it was new.
Very good, very good. Real good.
So when they first put on their lab coat, they were so excited. They really felt like scientists. They got the chance to put it on and do experiments, and it just develop that mindset that they are scientists and they can do whatever they want to do.
I want to be a doctor that specializes in some things.
The STEM Club is 10 weeks, and the clubs meet once a week, maybe from 3:30 to 4:30 or 4:30 to 5:30, depending on late schools.
Anyone in 5th grade can join, and it's maxed out at 20 students, and it's on a first come, first served basis.
I know I often go out to the schools and see how excited they are about learning all of these new concepts and things that they have never heard of, and being creative, seeing their innovative creations from the BioSTEM project.
It's okay. You don't need 2 hands. You do have 2 hands. You did it completely.
It felt good, and it made me feel like more of a scientist.
So the first half of the curriculum is a case study called Running Pains.
Well, when we got in our booklet, we learned about a kid that had cancer.
Second half of the curriculum is a, I'll say a build challenge.
It was this guy named Daniel. He lost his hand to cancer, and we had to build him a prosthetic one so then he can live a normal life.
So first we used construction paper to trace out our hand. After cutting the hand out, we will add whatever we wanted to try to make the hand, and it has to be able to pick up and ping pong ball and put it in a cup.
So it is like a process. They have to go through the case study to diagnose a person and be that, I'll say, the scientist, be that doctor from St. Jude's.
Well, STEM can help you learn much more about science, mathematics, engineering, and etc. It can also improve your grades just like it did for most of us. Yeah, in reading, my test scores it doubled, and because I learned new words in STEM Club.
So my goal for the students for STEM Club is just to develop a love for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I just want them to be able to take this information and skills that they've learned and just continue to prosper in life.
We hope you enjoyed this month's Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report. If you would like to learn more about Memphis-Shelby County Schools, visit us on the web at MSCSK12.org.
On behalf of everyone here at GHS-TV and MSCS, thank you for watching today's program. We'll see you next time on Memphis-Shelby County Schools Report.